Hi, Dawn Lewis here with a brand new 5-part series, and we are going to be using Blah 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 and Blah Bunny by Honeybee Stamps, which you can find in Australia at dawnlewis.com.au. Let's start with Honeybee Stamps. This little Blah Bunny is so deflated, partied out, upset about something, depressed, down in the dumps. I'm stamping him with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, as well as this little party hat and deflated balloon onto Express It blending card. You can find all of these in my shop and I'll link to that below. So colouring with Copic markers today, and I'm going really light handed. I'm starting with warm greys. W00 is practically invisible, but it does lay down a great base for the rest of the colours. When it dries, you can hardly see it, but if I was to just start with W0, it would be a little bit too much. So it's practically a zero colours blender, but with a tiny tint to it. So I'm going to start with all my shading down the bottom because this bunny's on the ground, he's down low, and the sun's shining from above, so I'm putting all my highlights on the top and all my shadows at the bottom. So I've got a W1 coming in now, and I'm just coming in exactly where I went before, but just a little less, not quite so far up on this sweet little bunny. I'm getting some around the ears, and when we're done with this, I'm going to go back to the W0 and just blend it all out and increase that a little bit. So now it's time for the little nose and the ears and those cute little jelly bean toe pads. I'm using RV10 and RV11 just for a little teeny pastel-y touch of pink. I will blend that out with the RV10 as well. So the next thing we're going to do is give our bunny a hat. Now every second stripe, I'm not going to colour it all the way to the end. So it's going to be, it's all the same colour, this hat, all the colours are on the left of screen, but I want every second row of stripes to look darker than the rest. So I'm only using the BG07 on that darkest one, and I'm going to come in with the BG01, and then I'll come in and beef it all up again with the BG05 for those darker ones. For the little pom-pom I'm dotting, but I'm going to pop over to the balloon. Pop. I didn't even mean that. I was funny and I didn't know it. Now the balloon here, I've stamped it upside down. So it looks like I'm shading the top, but I am in fact shading the bottom to keep it consistent with the rest of the colouring. And now to finish off the pom-pom, just little dots of the BG01, 02 and 05. Now let's get this card put together. I'm using an A2 card base. It's a warm grey to go with our bunny, and I've pulled a whole bunch of turquoise scraps from my paper keeper. I've cut a base, it fits nicely. I've pulled out the scraps I want to use, and I'm just going to lay them out, mark it, trim it, stick one down, lay out the next one, and so on and so forth, so that I end up with kind of a paper pieced background, which looks really cool, I think. Here is my little Blah Bunny, and I'm going to trim along the stamped line of his arm so that his little deflated balloon can kind of be tucked underneath his arm. So I'm just going to put a little 3mm double-sided tape on the back of the hand, and then I can tuck the balloon in there, and that's going to be fine. I can pop that aside. You can mix and match these gorgeous words from Blah 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 to say all sorts of things. In my case, it says, "I can't believe I forgot your birthday." So I've stamped it onto white cardstock, trimmed it down, and I'm using a leftover piece. This is the same colour as the panel that I cut, the turquoise one, and I'm going to stick my greeting onto there and then trim it down again so it's just got a nice fine border. I didn't feel like having anything too chunky, just a really fine border to make it stand out from the pattern paper. I'm taking a 1-inch circle punch, punching a piece of white cardstock, and I am going to stamp the word crap. So I'm sorry if you don't approve of that language, but this is a stamp that comes with the set, and this is one of the things that I think when I realise I've forgotten someone's birthday. So I'm sticking down the bunny, sticking down the white circle, and I'm going to stick down the main greeting up the top of the card, and I'm just going to play with where that goes, and it's a little off-centre to the right is kind of fun. Now this sticker, this is a scratchy sticker. I've stuck it over the top, and I'm going to use some itty-bitty, very old stamps from my stash to stamp the word scratch on the top so that people know they should scratch that. I did think the bright turquoise panel was just a bit boring, so I did stamp a hashtag on there, and so I could just brighten it up a little bit and add an extra sentiment. I've applied Tombow Mono adhesive, and just so I can get the panel where I want, and I'll show you up close how these scratchy stickers work. Yes, they're in the shop. I have red, silver and gold. So you stick the sticker on your stamped or handwritten or whatever, and then you can scratch it off just like you would with a scratchy from the local shops. So here's a close-up look at the card we made today using Blah 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 and Blah Bunny by Honeybee Stamps, which you can find at dawnlewis.com.au. I do hope that you will join me tomorrow for another project in day 2. I hope that you have a very crafty day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.